just a typical position out of Berlin. I played knight e2. I thought I needed to exchange this knight. He stopped me with c5. But now I saw that he cleared the square for me, so I played knight c3. Bishop c6, knight d5, h5, c4, striking this outpost, rook d7. Here, it was kind of tough for both of us to make plans, so we kind of just shuffled around a bit, tried to find the best setup. I played rook d3, bishop d8, and I think on the, these last few moves were not precise. Both of us should have played the move to h4. At some moment, we actually had multiple chances. And it's very important because when I allowed him to play h4, suddenly he got a lot of squares for his pieces. So this was kind of pretty big mistake on my part because the position suddenly became easier for black. Continued my regrouping, knight f1, bishop g5, knight h2. I honestly had no real conception here, just trying to see where I should put the pieces. Rook h5, knight g4. Now b5 was likely a good idea. Since I have no light squared bishop, it makes a lot of sense for him to attack on the light squares. And it might be difficult to guard c4 later. He can attack it with the bishop on a6. But he decided to delay that idea for a bit. King d8, bishop c3, king c8. I wanted to trade something, and I think my plan would be to push f4, f5, but it was very difficult to achieve. He played b6, takes, king h2, rook h5. Probably f4 was my threat. He got out of it. Played f3 again. No real ideas on my part. I remember being very frustrated because I felt like my chances to win were extremely low by this point. But I just tried to keep playing moves. a5, king g1. Probably king on e3 would be a better try to continue my plan with f4. He played a4. Now he's starting his operation a little bit on the queen side. King f2, takes, king b7. Now I offered an exchange of rooks. For him, it was best just to take and swing the rook around to the open file, and it would have been a tough position for me to hold. But he decided to keep rooks. Knight d5, d8, and now I felt this was a small opportunity for me. I played b4. He has to takes, and now he brought the other rook back. And here I think I started feeling better about my chances. I played knight e3. I think, okay, I had small tactical idea here. Knight c5, rook a3. He can't take the pawn because of this check. I pick up everything. He didn't go for that. Played bishop a4. Rook a1. Rook a8. Rook d8-3. Knight c5. Still He lost his way a little bit, but I think black was still a little bit better. Knight bd5, rook h8, f4. And now finally, I think he got a little bit fed up because he wasn't really making much progress, and now everything was protected on my part, and he also wanted to win this game, so he may have been frustrated here and played g5. Simple idea, but here it was a little reckless. Okay, I took, he took, and I think he missed my next move. Let's see if you could see what it was.
Knight c3.
Knight c3, absolutely correct. So since this rook left, now you'll notice that the rook is not protected. So suddenly he had some issues with this bishop here. Fortunately, he still had a way out. He played knight d3, king e2, rook a8. I took, takes, king d2. Again, small issue for him. He can't move the knight because the rook is hanging. But he found a way. He gave a check, and after he took, he gave another check. Check. I could not go further up because it would be checkmate. So I took on c5, takes, takes. Takes, takes, takes. King d6. And here I had completely turned the tables, and suddenly it was his turn to be careful here. So naturally he would like to just take the pawn. Unfortunately, my c pawn would be a big issue, and this rook is not well placed. Ideally, he would have this rook behind, but now it's very difficult for him to stop the pawn. So that's why here he played rook g3, which was a strong move, going after the h pawn. I played rook a5, rook h3, rook f5, and now let's see if you can find a way for black to save the game. Only one move.
Rook g3.
So rook g3, it did not take you very long. Rook g3, right?
Yeah.
It did not take you very long. It is the only saving move. Point being that you need this rook behind the g pawn. This g pawn is the only way that I can win the game, and now it's hard for me to save the pawn. I can take king b8. I can protect the pawn momentarily, but he will be in time to distract my rook. And after he takes the pawn, this is a very basic endgame. He would have held it at that point. But fortunately, my opponent thought he needed to get this h-pawn moving right away. He played rook d3 check, king e7, h3, and now that my king was close, he could no longer win the g-pawn. So h2, rook h7, Rook d2, g6. I'm honestly not sure what he even missed. And here there are just no ideas. Just g7 next. Put the king on h8. Promote the pawn, and there was nothing he could do. Gave some checks, but now my king could go in this direction, and here he resigned. So I wrote here, it was a very fortunate win. I really didn't feel like I deserved. As you could see, for the whole game, I really didn't have any plan, anything impressive to show. But the main lesson from this game that I took away is even when you're in a tough spot, you just have to keep playing. Don't worry about anything else, and the longer you can drag the game, the more likely the opponent will make mistakes. And this win turned out to be very nice. I became Grandmaster right after, and I won. I think I won the tournament. So everyone else had drawn their games, and I was able to win clear. So it was a big win for me, and that's the end of my lecture.
All right, so enough for Jeffrey to talk about some of the games. So now let's just chat. So it's the Q&A session of this event. So anybody who have questions, want to talk about your game or your chess journey. So some of the kids have found the moves that even our 2700 Busan did not find. You did?
So you're about to play against Carlsen. How do you prepare against?
So for I have more or less the same approach preparing against everyone. Basically, I will just have a look at his games. Open up. Okay, let's open this up. So depending on if I'm white or black, let's say white, I will select this option, and here I can basically see what he does. What are his most common responses on every move? If I want to play e4, he's most likely going to play e5 or c5. This is kind of the concrete way, I guess, to prepare. Other thing is I'll probably have a look at some of his recent games and try to understand. For example, we can open up a loss of his, and I'll try to understand what kind of mistakes he made. So, for example, in this game, I saw that he entered some opening that he wasn't familiar with, and he got into trouble right out of the opening. I think this is supposed to be bad for black because the bishop is out, and I think what I would take away from this game is that, especially if you can get into a position where you play for 2 results, he gets extremely uncomfortable. So this is just kind of the way I would look at an opponent and approach the game. Sorry.
Do you have any advice for kids when they're in the game, they couldn't find a very good move, but their time is running out? What should they be thinking?
Yeah, it's a very difficult moment for sure. And I think you just have to tell yourself that you have to make the move that will give you the best chance. I mean, the one that, I mean, sometimes even I will look at a position and I don't like any of my moves. But you just have to take the one that you dislike the least and play it and go for the best.
How many hours of it in a game do you spend?
For me, I'm actually, I would say I'm on the lower side. I'm not like these other guys who kind of work 20 hours. For me, I usually will try to keep it between 5 to 7 hours. But I always believe in the quality of your work over the quantity.
How do you prepare the day of the tournament?
On the day of the tournament, what do you mean exactly?
Like, the day the tournament starts, how will you prepare?
You mean is there a game on that day or no?
Yeah, there is.
So I mean I guess it completely varies. It depends on my mood. If I'm very energetic, I'll probably be preparing more in terms of openings. If I'm not, I'll try to rest or I'll try to take a walk and make sure that I have a fresh mind and be ready to go for the game.
So how do you usually train? You train by play the game online or